Hi, I'm Professor Kevin W. Tharp, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the role of the partner organization in our search engine optimization course. So, if you're watching this, I assume that you're either one, a student that has taken my SEO course, or two, a person slash organization that has been asked to be a partner organization for our search engine optimization course. And so, what I want to do is I want to go through in this video and I want to talk about what that relationship and role is and what it is not. So the course that we are working with is search engine optimization, and I've been teaching this course since 2012. So it's a pretty mature course, and we've found a really nice project, but it requires us to have organizations in the community that are willing to work with our students so that our students can get an applied real world experience of how you go about auditing an organization's online presence. And so that's where the partner organization comes in. The role of the partner organization, really, for the most part, is to let us look at your publicly viewable information and to interact with the students to give us some additional information that we can't see online. So a little bit of interaction, not a great deal of interaction is required during the semester. So the way that it works out is the students will look at your website to see if it is auditable. And that means that we need to use a series of tools. So the way that do an audit is that we go through and we use tools to, for instance, crawl your website. So one of the first things that they'll do is they will use this software called Screaming Frog to scroll your website and to see if your website is actually something that we can scroll and do the audit on. Because if we can't see the data behind your website, we can't do the audit. So that's the first thing that they're going to do. But we've got access to some other tools. We use uh, there's a tool that we use that is a aggregator tool that pulls data from a lot of different sources. That's called Raven Tools, and the license for that has been generously donated by Raven Tools. It's one of the top of the class tools for doing these audits, and it allows us to see a whole lot of information from a lot of different sources. So you'll notice that we're able to come in and really just look at a lot of different information. And what the students will be doing during this semester is they will be looking at your data through these various tools. We don't need any access to anything really other than somebody from your organization that will help us to answer questions. For instance, during the social media, the student is going to ask you what kind of social media you use, how you use it, what you do in case of a situation arises that you need to respond to social media, that sort of stuff. So really kind of high levels access to somebody who can talk to the student about these sort of basic kind of things related to your online presence. And so what they will do is throughout the semester, they will do a series of assignments that look at your on-site, your off-site, the keywords that you use, whether or not you've got a Google My Business page set up and a Bing Places for Business, all kinds of stuff like that. So we've got all through the semester a series of labs where they take what they've learned and they apply it by looking at your online presence. And so what we have here is there's an agreement that kind of lays out what we're looking for, what we need you to do, what we won't do. The main thing to know is what we won't do is we will not touch your website content, your social media. All we will do is look at it to gather data about it and use that data from a audit perspective so that we can go through and apply the concepts and the process of how we look at an online presence in order to make it possible uh, to better get people who are interested in your product to see your product. So there's a couple things that we need to look at. You've got to be a business or not-for-profit organization. We don't do vanity stuff, personal pages, anything like that. You need to have an active web presence. That means that you have to have a website. You can't just have a Etsy store or something like that. And that is included in this document. And if you're watching this video, I'll include the link to these documents down in the information down below the description of this video so that you can see it. But most likely you're actually accessing this video from this overview of the DMT 485-685 search engine optimization course. This video, after it's recorded, will be placed into this contact. So there's certain types of organizations that don't work. If you're watching this, if you're a student, you need to know that. If you are watching this as an organization, your student should have already vetted that so that you don't need to worry about that aspect. The main thing is that what the student is going to do is audit your site. They are not going to make any changes to your site. They're going to look at what they see. They're going to make a presentation. So for the final exam for this class, what they will do is they will take all these different parts of the audit, put them together, and they will present that audit to you, the partner organization. That is the final exam, and it is the place where you will need to interact with me. Everything else that you do will be interaction with the student. The only time that you need to interact with me is after they have presented the findings of the audit to you at the end of the semester. I'm going to need to receive an email from you that it tells me that they have done that, because that is the last requirement of the class, and it's the element that's required for them to get a grade. So other than that, what it looks like is it will end up being a document that goes through and looks at a lot of data, and we build the audit around 4 questions, because the student's goal is to educate you about things that we're going to assume you don't know anything about. And so what our students do is they frame the way that they look at this around 4 questions. The first question is, what is it? So if we're talking about page speed, what is page speed? Why does it matter? Why does page speed matter? So they're going to include that in the audit, so that there's a frame of reference. So they're going to be educating you, hopefully, with this audit presentation to you. So what is it? Why does it matter? And then we look at what did we find in the data. So they're going to bring the information from the data that they've been looking at, so that you can see what they found when they were doing their audit. And then the fourth one is, what are the recommendations based upon what we found in the data? So what that does is it frames this up in a way that it is a very applied situation. And then, because we like to build soft skills with our students, they're going to present to you, because ultimately when they get out of school, that's what you do with this kind of stuff. You find a client, you interact with the client, you do the work, and then you present it to the client. And so that's what this project is, and that is the core way that they are assessed in their learning in this semester, is taking what they've learned in the class, applying it, creating this document, and then presenting the findings of that document to you. And then, of course, your main responsibility there is to interact with them in those ways and to send me an email when it's done. So there's not a big time commitment in this. It's going to look a little bit different for every organization. Every partnership between a student and an organization is going to be based upon what you have. But that's really what it sums it up. And so first off, let me thank you for even considering being a partner organization. If you go forward and become a partner organization, thank you very much. I think that you're going to find this a valuable experience for you, because the process that we're going through is the same process that people would go through if you were hiring a consultant to come in and do a on-site audit for you. Granted, it is student work, but you may be amazed at how good of quality the work that comes out of these audits are. And so again, I want to thank you, and that's all I've got for now. I hope that I get that email from you at the end of the semester after you've worked with one of our students. That's all I've got for now. Talk to you later. Kevin W. Tharp. Bye-bye.